Come back. I'm trying to free you. Okay. All of our animals, apart from Dr. Zed, who's coming with us, have been freed. Right. The Pale Ones. Heed my order. Assemble. Okay. Is that everybody? Just waiting on Dr. Frosty? She's limping along. So, we were the Pale Ones, cave people that started originally not from here. We were from a jungle far, far south of here. We started, if I just show you the map here, all 16 of us currently, all the way down here. The playthrough started in October of 2021. We found ourselves at a place called Godmirror, which we named after how cave people would conceptualize, a giant fuck-off lake, a giant body of water so massive it could only be a mirror of the gods, and therefore we called it Godmirror. One moment, please. So, before I list out the achievements, I suppose, of the individual people here, what they've done and how far they got. This is where we started. This is a shot of Godmirror. I must apologize in advance, everyone. I wasn't able to acquire all of the shots, so I do run out of them eventually, especially when I get to the survivors. But what you're looking at here is Godmirror. This was the tribe cave that we occupied initially, that we hollowed out. We found ourselves a little insect den. So, no, there's no sound. Don't worry. It's just a picture for now. So we found ourselves a little hollow insect. Oh, tell you what I'll do. Yeah, good shout. Let me just get the soundtrack playing in the background, because obviously I've got to minimize it. Do that. Go here. Do this. Okay. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I didn't mean to over to the mic. Hang on. Is this it? There we go. Okay. So, we found ourselves in a wee cave system. There were about 5 of us originally, 5 escapees from the murderous god machines that attacked us. We managed to survive to the best of our ability. 1 minute, sorry, I'm just faffing. Faffing with audio. So we managed to survive to the best of our ability and make the most of our situation. Now, let me just go through first the list of the dead, essentially. So we'll honour the dead. We'll honour the journey as we go. So this was Mardian. Mardian has the unfortunate distinction of being the first casualty that we actually suffered. Mardian was a tribal man who was originally called Greyhound. He was a bandit cannibal raider wounded in an attack on Godmirror. His resistance to turning was relatively low, though, so he was able to turn to a cave person fairly quickly. An extremely intelligent off-worlder before joining the cannibal tribe, he was put in charge of research. In the second year, he had a tantrum, destroying Dr. Frosty's bedroom. He was subsequently punished by being given the worst bedroom in the entire cave. In the third year, he started a relationship with the stewkeeper Dr. Frosty, and a few days later, she even proposed marriage while still together in the infirmary, both suffering from a tribe-wide sleeping sickness. The happy future that they were hoping to build together never came to pass. The colony was attacked by a group of synthetics who had arrived in drop pods. Mardian had a sword near the back of the defensive line, and whilst trying to seek cover, he was shot in the arm, instantly turning his entire limb into red mist. As he screamed in pain, his fiancée watched as a second shot blew his entire chest open. He was simply standing in the wrong place at the wrong moment, and he was killed. Unfortunately, Dr. Frosty saw all of it. She tearfully buried him in the soil outside as a proper tomb was prepared later inside Godmirror. The bones were left there as the last caravan left to the north. After that, the next person to honour would be the former chief, Philip the Cat. This is Philip the Cat. So Philip the Cat was an enormously strong woman and one of the 5 original survivors from the God Machine's attack. Notably older than the other tribe members at the age of 40, she was a very capable fighter. She mostly busied herself with planting mushrooms in the back of the cave system. But in the first year, towards the end, she became the tribal chief and led the mole people in the defense of their dark home. Defending the entrance of the cave with ruthless efficiency, once shooting an attacker tribal with such force that his head exploded. Rarely was she seen without her shotgun. In the second year, Philip continued to lead the tribe, becoming our primary warrior, facing infestations and bandit raids, and in the middle part of the year, saw our first encounter with the God Machines in the form of termites, digging through with sonic weapons. After successfully fending them off, Philip fell into a rage and went berserk against the survivors, forcing them to restrain her. She lost a finger in the melee. In the third year, the colony made the decision to perform a religious pilgrimage to the north, following a voice on the wind which called itself an escape ship, whatever that means. The caravan evacuation was complicated by the arrival of a psychic ship that started whispering intrusive thoughts into the brains of only women, Philip included. Now, this is a shot of the evacuation from Godmirror. It wasn't the most smooth operation. We kind of packed the pack animals as best we can and started moving throughout every... Sorry, is the audio okay? I think it's okay. Sorry, I can't actually see the audio values. Anyway, so this is us leaving, and this is a shot of what happened next, because Philip the Cat immediately got into a fist fight with a fucking donkey. Due to the psychic ship's influence, no doubt. Which was a real pain in the ass, because these fuckers were in the way as well. Granted, they were sleeping, but still the psychic ship was a real fucking ball ache. Anyway, here's the problem. Here's what happened at Godmirror. With this shit show underway, the caravan got hideously divided. We'll get there eventually, but look at the top bar here. The left shows the people that were left in Godmirror. The right shows all of the people who successfully escaped the map. Psy Angel also had a mental breakdown, as did a guy called Bluefist. We'll get to him. But essentially this meant that the tribals that were off the map were completely defenseless because all of our warriors were hanging back trying to deal with this problem, essentially, is the point that I'm reaching. So, on day 185, the Pale Ones faced a grave threat. The caravan that was waiting on the edge of Godmirror faced a raid of savage tribals, the Lyra, eager for loot and slaves. Philip, despite being injured, did her best to defend her people, but the 2 tribals got within melee range, and with her back against the rock face... So this is the start of the massacre. So we desperately try to seek cover. Philip was there, sorry, I should have clarified. Philip was there, but most of my warriors were not. Here come the tribals. There weren't even that many of them. That's the pickle. She did her best, but with her back against the wall and with incoming arrows, she didn't stand a chance. She was cut down, but not killed. Cut down, and we simply never saw her again after this massacre of the caravan of Godmirror. After that, next person to introduce an honour, Ashes Oneaway in the top bar there. Ashes Oneaway was the tribal hearth-tender who would typically look after children in the cave network and later became one of the original 5 survivors. She mostly worked to preserve many of the learnings made by the previous Mole People base by building a research table, which is a research bench, and moving papers around, mostly because she couldn't read. And the midpoint of the first year, she started quite possibly the world's most boring affair, dating Psy Angel, so later Chief Psy Angel, 20 years her junior, despite being married to a distant raider husband. Despite this, the 2 of them would never sleep in the same dorm and refused to have sex. In the second year, she continued to provide spiritual guidance to the tribe, though her low speechcraft meant that she wasn't very good at it, and she'd continue to struggle to convert Dragoner to the ways of the Dark Sufferers. During the eventful exit from Godmirror, Ash's One-Away was experiencing a mental breakdown when the savage tribals attacked the caravan. Unarmed and raving at the voices in her head, she took no means to defend herself. An arrow hit her in the skull. She was killed instantly. One of the few that we can absolutely guarantee is dead. We saw her die. So she died in the middle of the fucking caravan, in the middle of the massacre. Rest in peace, Ash's One-Away. Next person to introduce is Seawolf, also one of the original survivors. Seawolf was relatively young, an 18-year-old tribal child, and who was he, sorry? And the former sole survivor of a different tribe, so he was incapable of violence and relatively unskilled. He took to the culinary arts and would be the one to strip the carcasses of the hunted game, and also cook cave mushrooms. Shortly after building Godmirror, he fell for the nudist pyromaniac Mirai after she complimented him on his well-groomed leg hair. The two of them started a relationship. They wouldn't stop shagging for several days. Yeah, cheeky bugger. So, in the second year, he focused on brewing beer, with the hopes that it could be used to trade. So the various barrels were assembled in the bedrooms. So during the massacre, unfortunately, we had a pet dog. And it went berserk on the death of its bonded owner, who I'm pretty sure was Dragoner, who we'll get to in a bit. Seawolf was ripped to pieces. This is the end of the massacre. There's Seawolf in the top right corner, you see? The map just changed there because he was just killed. Outright killed by the dog. Didn't stand a chance. Poor Seawolf. Next person to talk about would be Mirai. Mirai was a nudist, so a pyromaniac nudist, one of the original survivors. Usually seen bouncing around stark naked in the dark light, she mostly busied herself with cleaning after the tribesfolk. So she started a relationship with Seawolf, as I mentioned. So the two of them moved into a bedroom together. In the second year, in addition to animal handling, she took to making works of art due to a slight passion for it, and the cave started to fill with weirdly shaped statues of things from Mirai's dreams. Probably. One of them was quietly removed from the rec room and sold to some passing traders whilst Mirai was away because everybody found it hideous. In the final days of the second year, Mirai's elephant pet died from an insect attack and was buried in the grave outside the base. Also in the second year, she joined Nickel Dickle, later chief, on a caravan trip in order to sell the vast numbers of ducks that the colony have bred, with the intention of bringing back silver to Godmirror. She was given a full set of clothing for this task. So, in the final farewell from Godmirror, she too was a victim of the massacre. So just cycling through the videos. For unfortunately, she was simply surrounded. She was naked, she was totally fucked, and yeah, just immediately cut down. I think she survived. Was she killed? I can't see, it's a bit too small on my screen. I think she actually made it, and I think she might have been abducted. But yeah, she was just cut down. Oh, apparently her arm was shattered. She fell into the mud. Her body was never recovered. Okay. Next person to honour. Dragoner. Dragoner wasn't technically a tribal, at least initially. She was a mining specialist from a different tribe. She decided to join. I think it was in a Party of Darkness event, or maybe she just wandered in. She was an extremely gifted miner and was therefore assigned as our main digger, though she couldn't be given the official title without converting. In the second year, she became our doctor, and the tribe was weakened by insect raids and god machine attacks, so she stubbornly refused to convert. Okay, she caused some problems with someone called Lazy Space Gecko, constantly trying to convert her. During the caravan massacre, Dragoner was experiencing a mental breakdown and was unable to take cover. She was threaded by multiple arrows near the end of the fight, and the bandits, perhaps recognizing her ability, attempted to abduct her. Where is she? She's at the front, isn't she? Is she at the front or at the back? There she is. Where is she? Yeah, she's down at the bottom of the screen there. So she was abducted, and yeah, we never saw her again. It was another one of those... Yeah. Another one of those fuck situations. So she was last seen being dragged, kicking and screaming, in the direction of the tribal camp. Next person to mention, Lazy Space Gecko. Sorry, I might need to speed this up a bit, because obviously time's ticking. So, Lazy Space Gecko was a factory worker, a former bandit who was captured and converted to join Godmirror after a short time in captivity. The best word to describe Lazy Space Gecko was grumpy. preferring instead to be raiding and enslaving. So during the final caravan attack on Godmirror, Lazy Space Gecko did her absolute best to defend the others despite the voices in her head, the psychic ship, and she was able to slash down at least one of the attackers. However, multiple arrows struck her, and she was downed in the dirt. She died very quickly of blood loss, joining the other 7. At this point, it's worth... so this is the end of the massacre. This is where things picked up again. So hang on a second. We bring up a character called Bluefist. Bluefist joined just at the end of the Godmirror bit and joined the caravan north after the massacre. Bluefist was a wimp who entered the colony in a Party of Darkness event. So during the final evacuation, Bluefist insulted Unicosaurus' mother and therefore started a fistfight. He panicked and ran away, whilst Unicosaurus punched him lightly on the armour. He immediately fell over and refused to stand up, which greatly complicated rescue efforts. So, speeding this up a bit... Oh, sorry, one more thing. Yes, there was a bit where it was quite aptly demonstrated why pacifism is a very bad idea on the Rimworld, because we got attacked by fucking alpaca, and all we could really do was use him as a human shield whilst we tried to get an actual good shot on the fucking alpaca, because Bluefist was absolutely hopeless. Hang on. Sorry, just maximising the screen for me. I'll tell you what, I've got an idea. Let me just move you guys over to this monitor. That's better. Now I can see the chat again. Right. Just need to hydrate. So yes, with the massacre complete, and with barely any people left, we left to a place called The Folly. So, we continued our caravan north. We were going to complete our pilgrimage, as I described, and we set up shop about 100 kilometers north. It was a bit of a dismal place. It was a very grim situation. Only Cyangel, Nickel Dickle, Unicosaurus, and Bluefist made it. All of the women were dead or abducted. So, it was also at this moment that Bluefist proved to be extremely unreliable, constantly having mental breaks, constantly causing problems, and eventually this all culminated in a bandit raid in which he was lightly injured, very lightly injured, and then collapsed into the dirt, and a somewhat attempt was made to save him by shooting that bandit in the back, but all we really did was cut off the bandit's ear, and then we just had to let Bluefist go. Now, I'm sure at some point there might have been some people in the chat who claim that we might have received a couple of rescue missions to get Bluefist. These people are mistaken. There was never such a notification. This never happened. You're liars, all of you. Wherever he is, I hope Bluefist is okay. But yes, a very problematic wimp character. Oh, God. Next person to introduce, also at the Folly. Oh, sorry. Before we mention him, we did get a quick message that Dr. Frosty... Sorry, have I brought up Dr. Frosty yet? No, she's one of the survivors. Dr. Frosty was in that caravan massacre. She didn't die, though. She was abducted, and we got a mission to rescue her. So from the Folly, my new batch of people sallied forward in order to try and save her. We found this camp and attacked it, defeating the slavers that had Dr. Frosty hostage. And she was personally released by Nickel Dickle, now chief, and her former lover. Oh. Dr. Frosty was back with us. Okay. So, also, whilst trying to recover, we bumped into a guy called Spookworks. I think he was was he like a fucking... I think he was like a random passerby that joined us. Spookworks was fairly elderly, if memory serves. Hang on a second. Where is he? A tribal builder who crashed in a pod to the north of the Folly, so the backup base. He joined relatively quickly. He was, however, staggeringly ugly, and most avoided him in the stone-cutting shed. So unfortunately, he didn't last long at all. Spookworks was killed because when we got into so we got our supplies together to keep moving north towards the escape ship after only a couple of years at the Folly, and on the journey there, he was herding the animals, and he just got fucking taken out, knocked down, and then look, was it just an accidental stray arrow? Watch this. Just fucking... What got him? Hang on. He's on the ground there. Look. He got taken out by like fucking a missed shot. So rest in peace, Spook. That being said, that wasn't the last that we saw of Spook, because every time there was a mental breakdown, someone would drag his body out of the fucking grave and parade it around fucking, you know, the colony. So the poor bastard wasn't left alone. Yeah. Rest in peace, Spook. Next person to introduce... Oh, sorry. On the way up north into the polar ice cap, we had another fight, killed some bandits, and we noticed that there was a 16-year-old girl in shock with a burning passion for crafting. Her name was Koala. We abducted Koala and took her back to the base and convinced her to join us. She chose to take on the name Nunmat. Then, after a few years, we arrive. We're in the north now. It's now about 6 years since the start. This is... no, this isn't Tundrafall. Oh, sorry, Haydn, that's the name of it. I misnamed it in the file. This is Haydn. We found ourselves a little insect den. You see that snaky tunnel? So a high den. It's high up on the polar ice cap, not too far from the signal of the escape ship. So we decided to dig in and turn this cave into this. So we arrived on year 6. This is year 11. So this is quite a mature colony now. Within Haydn, we rebuilt our numbers, we rebuilt our technology, we fully recovered after the massacre of Godmira. We're properly we're properly entrenched now. So when we did, we started to make probing expeditions over to the escape ship, only when we were ready, of course. But yeah, it's in Haydn where we flourished. The next dead person to introduce, fucking hell, haven't even got to the living. Another quick drink. If you're just joining the stream, I'm just finishing the game and I'm doing the final farewells. This is Nickeldickle. Nickeldickle was a warrior enforcer who took over the tribal leadership from Philip the Cat after Philip's death. Nickeldickle proved very incompetent on the medical side of things, resulting in the loss of a few limbs that people were, under his knife. But he was a very capable chief as a warrior, defending the tribe from attack. He did so for many years, and he was great. But unfortunately, this happened. On the 8th year, defending against incoming scythers and lancers, he took a shot to the spine. He was paralyzed from the waist down, couldn't move. And we're tribals. We don't have bionic spines. We couldn't replace his spine. So he was bedridden for years. The chief had to give up his role. Nickeldickle had to give up his role, and it was taken over by a man called Psyangel. He lay in bed with Birdie taking care of him, his fiancée. Or was it wife? No, I think it was just girlfriend. And until eventually we were able to find a bionic spine and replace it. But sadly, the story doesn't end well, for in defense of the colony, Nickeldickle was extremely badly wounded. We tried to save him, but we failed, and Nickeldickle was killed. His body was left behind back at Haydn. We built a sarcophagus for him. But yeah, rest in peace, Nickeldickle. The next person to introduce, Unicosaurus. Unicosaurus was a misogynist hunter. He hated women and liked to shoot things. He mostly busied himself hobbling around on peg legs, hunting game, owing to the fact that he lost his legs to Nickeldickle due to improper surgeries, trying to heal injuries or whatever. So, whoops. Unicosaurus served for a long time as a dedicated warrior, but unfortunately was once caught out in the open by murder bots, by scythers and lancers, and couldn't get back home in time due to his peg legs. Rest in peace, Unicosaurus. Now, by this point, with all of our people assembled, and with most of the casualties now taken, we found the escape ship. A pathfinding team was sent, and we found it. Sitting open on the ice, the escape ship. Around that escape ship, we subsequently built a small wall. That small wall eventually became a big wall. That big wall eventually became the base that you see now in front of you. And we worked to defend it from raids, from animals, from whatever, so as long as we could, essentially. Sealing it off entirely under a roof so no one could see that we had it. Also at that time, introducing Vakuzi. Vakuzi the Moozy was one of those pathfinders that I just mentioned. Vakuzi was handling... What was he doing? Was it stone cutting predominantly? What was it? Sorry. Yes, he handled defense of the tribe. He handled... Sorry, what was it? He beat up Nickel Dickle? Oh, yeah. To recruit him. So he was from a tribe... Yeah, he was recruited at the Folly. That was it. We found him at the Folly, and we got Vikuzi all the way to the escape ship. He was extremely reliable, despite losing a leg in battle at one time. Sadly, and this was not streamed, in the defense of the tribe, Vikuzi attempted to plant a bomb in the face of wall breachers that were attacking us, but he couldn't make it out of the blast radius in time. And Vikuzi, this is a screenshot of that, was killed in the doorway as we attempted to flee back inside from the incoming raiders. He was killed because the bomb literally went off on him. He died instantly and is buried here at the escape ship. So from this point onwards, it's all the escape ship. From the year, what was it? Year 11, I think it was? So, the next person to introduce, Wheeled Genius. Wheeled Genius, in the middle there, was a big, burly 32-year-old woman, an agricultural worker, joining the colony at Haydn, so not the escape ship. She was fairly capable with a firearm and a reliable hunter, and she was among those to arrive at the escape ship via drop pods. She took to defending the tribe and performing minor crafting tasks, such as stone cutting. In the autumn of... in the 15th year, 2 years into the defense of the escape ship, she met her end. In a fit of frustration, she decided to do this. Kick one of our exterior turrets, which exploded, killing her instantly. I should have left the sound clip of me just going, "What the fuck?" I think I said, when she died. Such a pointless death. Just nothing, just deleted. Fuck. Fuck indeed. So, that's Wheeled Genius, the 32-year-old stonecutter. Now, pardon me, because this is where I run out of clips and have to just describe what's going on. So, the next person to introduce would be Dr. Locktacount. Dr. Locktacount is buried right here. Dr. Locktacount was a capable surgeon, an educated man from a different tribe, if memory serves, a different settlement. He wasn't technically a cave person. He came here from elsewhere. He handled most of our wounded and did a great job, and had quite possibly the unluckiest death I've ever seen in Rimworld, for Dr. Locktacount was in the infirmary when a drop pod raid attacked the infirmary. He was fucking squashed by an enemy drop pod. I was like, oh, for fuck. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Poor Dr. Locktacount. Yeah. Next person, Lewis the Blob. Where is Lewis the Blob? Lewis the Blob was in a relationship with many people. In a relationship with Nickel Dickle, the former chief, with Merbles, the shaman, worked in the hydroponics bays. She was a gourmand who loved food. She always was raiding the pantry. And she was killed in battle in a psychic ship event up here. Lewis the Blob was fighting when her shield was overloaded by a railgun shot, which went straight through her and just killed her instantly. Sucks. She came all the way from the Folly. Another long-term survivor. So rest in peace, Lewis the Blob. Fishy Fish Fry. The next man, Fishy Fish Fry. Where is he? No, he's yeah, we buried him here, didn't we? Where is he? Fishy Fish Fry over here was a warrior who joined us defending the tribe. Alas, he didn't last very long, owing to the fact that he decided to copy the chief Psy Angel at the time by snorting some cocaine. Somehow, he had an overdose and died on one hit of cocaine on Yayo. Couldn't believe it either. He just randomly keeled over dead on the exact same dosage. Fucking hell. Next, Chief Psy Angel. Chief Psy Angel, being the last original survivor of the five, was also the last to die. Bearded and stoic, he took to dig in the tunnels. Chief Psy Angel was a body purist who didn't like artificial body parts applied to him. Nevertheless, we decided to do that. We gave him multiple artificial limbs owing to his importance. We couldn't just have him bedridden with no legs, so we decided to give him bionic legs. We gave him bionic arms. He got unhappy about this, so we gave him a joy wire. He was even less happy about that, but the joy wire helped. He turned to hard drugs and multiple times had multiple overdoses. And he even died twice, once to an elephant and once to Birdie, both times resurrected by the nanites that we found. Ultimately, the chief, Psy Angel, our last chief, well, not really, because Sipstaff is now, he attempted to use a tornado generator against this group up here, but the tornado generator malfunctioned, shall we say, and did not kill any of them to any appreciable degree, and they turned round and gunned him down with their sniper rifles. Rest in peace, Chief Psy Angel. And lastly, amongst the dead, Nervous Hawk. Nervous Hawk is an architect explorer. He was iron-willed, but wasn't part of our tribe formally. Due to his iron-willed nature, he rarely broke, and he mostly busied himself with combat and also just general construction tasks around the tribe. Nervous Hawk died because I'm an idiot. He had a drug overdose when he combined 2 different types of drugs. During this escape ship event, he had, what was it, like, was it Wake Up and Yayo in his system? And he just fucking keeled over. So close. Rest in peace. Those are the honoured dead. We are those who survived. And it's time to leave. So, without further ado, let's start at the back. Gakochi recently joined us. Gakochi is 55 years old, a misogynist. Gakochi was given begrudgingly a place on the ship. We really would have preferred someone with more combat experience, shall we say, but decided to let Gakochi have a seat anyway. Gakochi has been throwing grenades left, right, and centre, and yeah, generally earned his place. Safe journey, Gakochi. Flojum recently joined, 59, is a vet, but I'm sure he didn't tell the others that. He's the doctor, yes, of course, the doctor. So he patches up the injured with the death of Dr. Locked-Account. So, yeah, good job, Flojum. Well done indeed. Off you go. Sorry, for those joining, this is the end. One by one, my people are taking their places in the escape ship. Bronchito is a wimp. As a result, we had where was it? I think it was over here. We had a situation where we were all fleeing from the enemy, and then he took the slightest nudge, like I think he got bruised, and he fell over like, oh god, I'm hurt. Sorry, I realise I'm meant to be bigging you up right now, Bronchito, but that was embarrassing. We keep him at the back, usually with a sniper rifle as a result, and I decided to give him janitorial duties and also augment him with bionic arms and bionic eyes. Half as a joke, because, you know, he's the most souped up janitor possible, but also to help on the mortars, so well done, Bronchito. Off you go. Sleep well. Next up, Kirkamuna. Kirkamuna is the ugly, neurotic gay man. Sorry that I keep calling you that the whole time. So, Kirkamuna, 66 years old now. Yeah, he's surprisingly, you've done amazingly, Kirkamuna. You've done really amazingly. Rarely did you break. You were continually, in most battles in a supporting role. Yeah, what a good man. Yeah, I don't know if you're in the chat, Kirkamuna. I don't know if you're also an ugly, neurotic gay man, but well done. Well done indeed. Kirkamuna, off you go. Crazy Glitch. Crazy Glitch, also known as Wolf's Bane, after killing a wolf, taking no damage whatsoever when it hunted him. An extremely capable hydroponics worker and warrior, Crazy Glitch was often on away missions, supporting attacks of things, using plasteel weaponry, so swords and that lot, with an energy shield. Crazy Glitch did really, really well. Did an excellent job defending the tribe, and also decided to marry Tanks the Beautiful. Tanks? You two will be going together. You'll get pods side by side. You'll be together wherever we go. So yeah, Crazy Glitch was great. They love each other. They're feeling good. Yeah, well done, Crazy. Thank you for all the hydroponics. In you go. Tanks. Make sure you go next to him. Yeah, you're going to go there. So Tanks the Beautiful. Tanks with excellent shooting ability and with steadfast and beautiful. She was the face of the colony. At the age of 51, she handled all of the negotiations that had to be done. She handled all of the everything, anything that required conversations with outsiders, she handled it. Yeah, she did a fantastic job. Hang on, I'm just trying to bring up the thing. Were there any special circumstances that I'm missing? I don't think so. I think Tanks mostly... Yeah, she was very, very capable. Hang on. Tanks the Beautiful. Another slave. Oh, yes, of course. I forgot about that part. Sorry. Tanks was originally buried in a cryo-sarcophagus, wasn't she? She was one of the... Yeah, so she had a group of people that was sealed away behind an ancient danger. So we sent a rescue mission, but we didn't realise that they were all going to be naked, and all of her friends froze. Later, considered bad form, during a raid, she attempted to break out her old comrades. They were in prison, you see, and she was already recruited. She tried to let them go, so she opened the door to let the prisoners run. Unfortunately, the door opened, and who was it? Was it Lewis the Blob? Someone with a big fucking spear stabbed the prisoner and grabbed her by the neck and threw her in the cell. So yeah, she had some learning to do, essentially, regarding conduct here in the tribe, but she eventually settled in. Right. Well done, Tanks. Please take a pod next to your husband. Off you go. Next. Westy. Westy the Bandit. Extremely capable bandit. Where is she? So Westy attacked the colony on the 10th year. She was originally a bandit called Toad, and both were confused to discover that the cave people paid more attention to Westy. Sorry, she was captured alongside a bandit called Toad, sorry. And the Toad was confused because we paid lots of attention to Westy with her combat abilities. And then one day, Toad was sacrificed to Alalim. Westy was converted and agreed to join shortly afterwards. So yeah, the consequences of not joining would be sacrificed on this fucking altar. So, Westy defends the escape ship and is often seen in the company of Wombles during battles, wearing a second set of power armor and swinging a plasteel sword. The two of them run through the snow to repair damaged turrets with their personal energy shields sizzling in the gunfire. So what's this? Oh yes, of course. Westy is on Luciferium. On a particularly nasty fight here, not too long ago, she fell to the ground unexpectedly. She had a brain injury. She was shot in the head. We decided, in the presence of her husband, Sipstaff, who was in the room at the time, to put her on the drug Luciferium. If she ever runs out of this drug, she'll die. Do you think I can get her to pick some up? Yeah, pick up some Luciferium and take it with you. Yeah. So, her brain is recovered, but who knows how much time they'll have left together. Westy, please drop the yayo. Yeah, go over here and drop the yayo and pick up Luciferium, then join your husband. Okay. Sipstaff. Now the tribal chief, Sipstaff took over. So Sipstaff was a father in mourning. Where is he? A 50-year-old tribal at the time. He's now 55. He was captured by the Pale Ones 2 years into the defense of the escape ship. His name was originally Pig. His capture was due to the presence of a young woman with a burning passion for crafting, Sipstaff's daughter. And the hope was to convince both of them to join us, giving us a family pair. However, things didn't go to plan. When a jailbreak resulted in the death of the young woman, Sipstaff was eventually convinced to join us, but remained in mourning after the death of his child. In the summer of the 15th year, he started a relationship with Westy. They married a year later in this temple. He remained with her even after her brain injury that required Luciferium. So we twice sent him south via drop pods to gather trees in the island further south, and he made it back okay both times. With the death of Psy Angel, he became the chief. Well done, chief. Please join your wife. The two of them get Luciferium and get ready to take your place aboard the escape ship. He's incapable of caring? Evidence to the contrary. Hang on, Birdie's feeling a bit upset. Birdie, would you kindly... Yeah, this is taking a bit of time. Birdie, would you kindly get some food and maybe snort some drugs? She's upset about the loss of her animals. Make sure that you're not on drugs already. No, you're not. Then come back. Okay. So... Sorry, 1 minute. The playlist. Let me just restart the playlist. Okay. So, Westy, could you please just drop Not the marine helmet. Drop the yayo. And, yeah, drop that lavish meal. How much luciferium can you gather? 3 doses? Okay. Gather that. Could you please take more for your wife, Sipstaff? Drop that psychic insanity lance. I don't know if it makes a difference. No, don't take it. Just pick it up. Can you pick up any? No. How do I get him to pick it up? Maybe he can't? Oh, it needs to be on the schedule. Okay. Right. Drug policy for him? Might be a bit too complicated. Drug policy... Oh, fuck. Drug policy 3. Luciferium. No, I don't want you to take it. Oh, no, hang on. Keep in inventory. How much can you actually take? Only 3 maximum. Okay. Where are you? Sipstaff. Drug policy 3. Pick up luciferium for your wife. Alright. Off you go. Enter that casket. Sipstaff. Well done, Chief. Okay. Who's next? So, Merbles will save you till later. So, Nunmat. Yeah. Well done, Nunmat. So this is Nunmat, everybody. You saw Nunmat getting abducted when we first arrived at Haydn. Where's her entry? So, Nunmat was the 16-year-old girl who attacked the tribe as it was migrating up to what would become Haydn. She was critically wounded, but not killed, and the tribe collectively decided that a 16-year-old was far too young to die on the Rimworld, so they patched her up, threw her onto the back of one of the bison, and took her with as a prisoner. The fact that she had burning passion for crafting had little to do with it, I'm sure. After being captured, she was recruited and primarily spent her time inside the cave making things, being trusted only to make the basic clubs and then the minor trinkets at first, before eventually creating many of the weapons that the tribe used on the front line. 1 minute. Okay. So she had a couple of tantrums, not really worth mentioning, where she was nearly killed. In the summer of the 3rd year at Haydn, she received something that she'd long been fantasizing about, an augmented artificial arm. Since then, I've given her many. She's overjoyed at her augmentations. She's thrilled. Okay. So, on arriving at the escape ship, Nunmat was kept inside the workshop for the most part, producing advanced components that could be turned into weapons and armor necessary to defend the ship. She also took the time to augment herself further with multiple robotic limbs and an eye. This thrilled her. She made a personal set of power armor for the final battle, painting it her favorite color, green. Well done, Nunmat. Into the pods you go. Next up, we're nearly done, folks. Average Noob. Average Noob is a very recent joiner, an abrasive jogger who is also 73 years old. In the final battle, if you didn't see it, over the last few streams, she's been firing rockets at the enemy. Doomsday launchers or triple rocket launchers more frequently, rather. She's also really, really good at construction now. She did a great job, so well done there, Average Noob. Right. What are you going to take with you? Why not? Take one for the road. Grab that Doomsday launcher and hop on in. Sleep well. Falling Star, the Morning Star. So Falling Star, where did he come from? Let's have a look. So Falling Star was a captured bandit who agreed to join us, having been convinced by Tanks, being offered a spot due to his impressive combat abilities. And he's a brawler as well. He's really, really tough. Shortly after arriving, he was given a specially crafted uranium-headed mace called Shadow Fox, and was tasked with defending the tribe from close-range threats. His abilities outside of combat were fairly average. Well done though, Falling Star. You've certainly earned your place. Take a spot. Right here. Dr. Frosty. Dr. Frosty arrived back at Godmirror, I believe. She was a chef and a body purist. She is one of the... Frankly, she's the only survivor that we know about from the Godmirror massacre. She was critically wounded. She was carried off by the bandits, and we received that rescue mission to go and get her. she was personally rescued by her then boyfriend Nickel Dickle, now the tribal chief. Being a body purist, we didn't want to give her too many limbs. We didn't want to send her down the same cocaine-fueled route as Psy Angel. So she's pretty battered. She had a rather horrible time. She's now 47 years old. She was, fucking in her, 30s, right? Back when, early 30s, back when she first joined us. So she's okay. She made it. But yeah, she had a really fucking rough time. Oh yes, I forgot about the chinchilla thing. Because when she joined, what was the chinchilla thing? Hang on. I gave her a vendetta against chinchillas. What was it? Sorry. So she has the vengeful child backstory. And I figured that I made up some shit about her, fighting chinchillas, because chinchillas wiped out her tribe or something. But every time chinchillas would appear on the map, she would go to fight them irrationally. That never proved necessary, because it turns out chinchillas don't actually appear anywhere where we went. So we never really encountered chinchillas, so never mind. Oh yes, she was also in a relationship with Mardian, back in Godmirror. So he died a long time ago. Yeah. She's now surrounded by fresh new faces, I guess. Yeah. Go and sleep, Dr. Frosty. Vasper the Duck. So Vasper the Duck was a tribal half-tender who joined the tribe on the 16th year. She was originally one of the many captured bandits from the various raids over the years, who was stuffed inside a cryopod with the potential of recruitment, so I would just stuff wounded bandits in these pods here whenever I needed them. Vasper was formally given the role as Spelunker, so she was thawed out and recruited after a period of 19 days in captivity. So she was thawed out, given the role of miner, and has busied herself mining as much material as possible, rarely leaving the escape ship due to her value. She was given an excellent quality charge lance rifle for her service. She has 8 confirmed kills, surely more by now. Well done, Vasper. Lastly, this is Murbles. Murbles? Okay. Initially captured as Sean in The Folly, Murbles was a raider who twice tried to escape. He had to be restrained with clubs. Eventually, though, we were able to convince him to join the tribe on the condition that he become our shaman due to his excellent speaking abilities. Ooh, burning passion, skill of 11. His time in the colony, however, was quite rough, as he would often experience mental breakdowns for the variety of reasons, such as the required garb not being well insulated against the cold, and weirdly a constantly stacking debuff as he tried to flirt with Chief Nickel Dickle and his girlfriend at the same time. So he'd often need to be arrested and then restrained and then lose the fucking shaman role. He joined at the age of 50. He's now 65. Murbles continued to be our yo-yo shaman at Haydn, repeatedly having mental breakdowns at times of stress, losing the shaman role before getting it back again. In combat, he was a massive, burly, and extremely capable melee fighter, clad in power armor and able to charge into the enemies with the tough stat. He's basically got double the health. It's pretty damn amazing. Murbles was among those to make it all the way to the escape ship, and was actually the first to be given priority to the new power armor, becoming a dangerous opponent with a specially made plasteel sword called Cruelty's Shadow. As his constant use of drugs had made him unreliable in the polar region, where drugs could not be easily grown, he spent most of the 13th year having mental breaks going through withdrawal. He got to the other side, but the role of shaman was given to Tanks the Beautiful, who was considered a safe bet. Murbles has killed 41 people, and is often at the front line of most engagements. Well done, Murbles. You certainly earned your keep, that's for sure. And that's it. Take your place. Ah, good point. I did forget Birdie. Sorry, that's not it. Birdie, quickly. You've had your drugs. Your mood is improving. Birdie races in. Oh, not for me. Wait for me. Birdie the Betrayer. Where the fucking begin? Sorry, Birdie the Redeemed now. Birdie the Redeemed. So I'm getting spam with messages. Hang on. Birdie, where are you? Birdie the Redeemed. here you are. So, this is Birdie. Birdie was a bandit called Alina, who was captured after a drop pod raid malfunction, crashing down in the snow north of Haydn. She was fairly quick to join the tribe, but didn't initially convert. She primarily focused on the defense of the colony using a charge rifle, at least initially a set of plate armor. It can be presumed that she came from a southerly base, as a mental breakdowns in the cold caused tremendous problems in the sub-zero nights of Haydn. She almost froze to death, attempting to fight synthetics out in the snow. It got so bad that she was forced to cut off the power armor and flee back into the warmth before hypothermia just flat out killed her. The armor plate was left resting in the frozen cave before it could be retrieved a few weeks later. She was responsible for the animal training, working to keep the base's polar bears and wargs trained. She also took an arrow directly to her right eye socket, losing her biological eye and having it replaced with a bionic one. One spring at Haydn, Birdie got into a social fight with Nunmat in the hallway, and after a vicious fistfight in which Nunmat initially seemed to be getting the upper hand, Birdie killed her. Nanomachines were able to resurrect Nunmat, and Birdie was thrown in the jail for several days. Her title was changed to the Betrayer. Additionally, on the 14th year, she murdered Chief Psyangel after he went berserk, and she and Murbles had to restrain her. Tried to restrain him. In the 15th year, a bandit raid contained her daughter, Vagua? You called your daughter Vagua? Thankfully, the daughter survived and fled the escape ship. She continues to be a highly volatile and dangerous member of the tribe and has a kill count of 73. What the fuck is your kill count now? Because that's astonishing. That's the highest kill count in the tribe with the death of Psyangel. I have no doubt. Records. You have 385 kills and 171 human-like kills. 171. Fucking hell. You've certainly earned your place, Birdie. Take your pick. Ah. Do I need someone to... No, I can trigger it myself. 1 second. Just doing something. Of course, sorry. Another person I've forgotten. Bibu Dingo, who is currently in cryo having lost her leg. She's 75. She was an artist lady that joined us at the Folly. We captured her, or did she join us? Oh, no, I think we rescued her. That was it. We rescued her. And then... yeah, this chat's like, God's sake, this isn't over yet. We rescued her, and then Murbles burst into the room with a mace and bashed her ear off, which is kind of rude. She, despite being elderly, did a fantastic job both defending the base using her masterwork sniper rifle and also making works of art for us, which we could sell for cash. So, well done there, Bibu. Well done indeed. Bibu's leg was blown off in the defense of the tribe here. For those who didn't see it, about a couple of hours ago, a rocket screamed through the snow and landed on her. So we put her in cryo as a result. And that's it. Everyone take your places. Hop on in. Murbles, in you go. This one's occupied, buddy. Shit, sorry. Get a different one, dude. Get the one on the back. Sorry, Sipstar. Sorry. Chief just gave him an angry glare. Dr. Zed? You want me to do a eulogy for the fucking iguana? Fine. We had an iguana. His name was Dr. Zed. He lived for years in the rec room. We fed him Luciferium as a joke. No, Dr. Zed's awesome. Oh, fuck. But anyway. So, those were the tribals. Those were the pale ones. Bubu the artist, Vasper the duck, Average Noob the granny, Tanks the beautiful, Birdie the redeemed, Sipstaff the chief, Dr. Frosty, the former slave turned cook, Nunmat the forge mistress, Merbles the shaman who please get in your pod. Thank you. Falling Star the morning star, Westy the bandit, Crazy Glitch the hydroponics worker, Kirkamuna the ugly neurotic gay man, Bronchito the wimp, Gakochi the misogynist, and Flojum the vet. But thank you all of you. Thank you for watching these many, many years as we've done this. I can't believe we got to it in the end, but we did. So the one last person, the one last character, I suppose, would be me. The voice behind the walls. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Time to go somewhere else, eh? Pale Ones, you go on ahead. I've got more people to send up. I'll get the next one, eh?
Come